Okay, very great morning to all of you, dear participants. Now let us start with our second session today. Topic is program curriculum and teaching learning process. Now this topic is nothing but second criteria from the NBA accreditation. So let us focus on what is program curriculum. Now as you know, affiliated colleges to the university have very less scope to design program curriculum, but it doesn't mean that they don't have any scope is there. So let us see how we can accommodate as per our wishes in the program curriculum, even if the syllabus or curriculum is designed by the university. So let us start. I welcome all of you in my today's session. I would like to cover introduction of the topic, then bridging curriculum gap, because if we see program curriculum, only two tools are in our hand: bridging curriculum gap and content beyond syllabus. And under these two categories, we can do many things that only I want to focus today. So what is bridging curriculum gap? What is the correct procedure to set the bridging curriculum gap? How to find out it? Because lot of misconceptions are there for this bridging curriculum gap. So I would like to focus light on this concept. Content beyond syllabus is well taken by all, at least 80%. So I will also speak on content beyond syllabus and how we can conduct various activities and in what way. Then case study I will show you of my subject, which I had just recently finished in lockdown period, and also my forthcoming course, because second year I'm going to take second year subject, and our second year syllabus of Pune University changed. We have done many changes in the university syllabus depending upon what we used to do earlier in bridging curriculum gap and content beyond syllabus. So this is the way Kaizen we have applied. Now whatever was earlier bridging curriculum gap, content beyond syllabus, all we have accommodated in our latest syllabus, which is going to start from 1st July. That also I would like to tell you. And then outcome based teaching learning strategies and what pedagogy we can use to improve our quality of teaching learning process in the class as well as laboratory. So with respect to criterion 2, I will focus all these points in my today's session. Of course, outcome after the session will be, I will say that all the participants will able to find out the bridging curriculum gap related to the syllabus. Mind you, the bridging curriculum gap we need to find out at our course level also, but it doesn't mean that bridging curriculum gap is at course level. Always bridging curriculum gap is vast and breadth and depth concept, and it is usually taken misunderstood at course level. But we cannot find out to a very high depth and breadth gap unless and until all course teacher will work on that. So I will say that curriculum gap at course level and curriculum gap at program level. So outcome of my session will be all will able to find out curriculum gap at course level also and program level, department level also. And then you will be also able to find out content beyond syllabus related to your course, and various techniques you will able to know what techniques can be used for conducting bridging curriculum gap and content beyond syllabus. Then you will be also able to plan your pedagogy very effectively in a innovative way, dynamic way, active way. After my session, I hope your pedagogy will definitely change, and there will be upgradation from your teacher level, from average to good, good to excellent teacher. That way I can say by changing your pedagogy, you can move to upward class of your teacher qualities. So planning for teaching learning activities also you will come to know, because yesterday's session was planning teaching plan. Mr. Sonekar sir did it very nicely. So after my session, of course, you will be able to plan your teaching learning activities in a very broad way and innovative way. And also you will able to improve your teaching learning process. That is what I can say outcome of the today's session will be there. So let us see first again criteria summary as per NBA accreditation, because we are learning in this FDP introduction to outcome based education and enhancing quality of teaching learning process. So second criteria today I will discuss. Criteria title is program curriculum and teaching learning process, and marks are 120. If you will see the marks for UG level, these are highest level marks. Of course, third criteria is also 120. So everything is in our hand to get the accreditation of the institute. So let us see how we can get maximum marks out of 120. So if we will see the analysis of this criterion, curriculum gap is of 10 marks. Bridging curriculum gap is 10 marks. Then content beyond syllabus is 10 marks. Process of improving teaching learning process is 25 marks. Internal evaluation method again 20 marks. Project quality 25 marks. And unfortunately, we always forget to focus on our project quality and also process of improving quality of teaching learning process. So these are actually at a higher scope. Improving quality means pedagogy. These are totally pedagogical way for practicals and theory, and also project quality. Industry involvement in teaching learning process is also 15 marks, and industry training is also 15 marks. So my focus today will be on these first two, and also process of improving teaching learning process. This I will just touch because in one session we cannot cover all this. Actually, we can take one session only on this, one session on only on this. So that way, but I would like to touch this in a brief way. You can ask me any difficulties further after the session also. So let us see the details of program curriculum criterion. Program curriculum is of 20 marks and teaching learning process is of 100 marks. So out of 120, splitting is like that. Program curriculum for 20 and teaching learning is for 100. Now in program curriculum, again two bits are there. Curriculum gap is 10 marks and content beyond syllabus is 10 marks. See, generally we see the content beyond syllabus is less as compared to the curriculum gap. But no, I can tell you the scope is very equal, and we have to give justice to the content beyond syllabus also and to the curriculum gap also. But even if scope is same, working on this is very vast and it is also time consuming planning.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, that black means the toolbar is there, video panel toolbar is there. So we are not able to see the full PPT. Can you hide it?
Oh, you are not able to see full PPT. Okay,
Yeah.
I will change now.
Yeah.
Now I will change, I think, in the video. Okay, thank you, sir. So that is about the program curriculum 20 marks. And then teaching learning process, how 100 marks are distributed. Process of improving quality means 25 marks. In that also there are 4 bits. Internal evaluation 20. This is not the scope of our FDP because Pradhan sir told something about the rubrics that was there. Project quality also he said rubrics can be used, but project quality is there. So 25 marks are for project quality, industry involvement 15 and industrial training 15. So let us see what is given in 2.1.1. State the process. I told you process are very important. Process used to identify extent of compliance to the university curriculum for attaining program outcomes and program specific outcomes. Means we have to see our program. Suppose if I am from electrical engineering program, my electrical engineering program whole from first year to final year, I will see, I will map with PO, I will map with PSO, and how I will see how much is the mapping, whether everything is covered in the curriculum or no, or something is missing. And that missing gap I had to find out as a curricular gap. So mind you, this curricular gap is with respect to PSO and PO, not with CO. And I will tell it is also with respect to PEO. It doesn't mean that we have to focus only on PO and PSO. We have to see what PEO also we have framed. Because PEO, we are looking our students after 4 or 5 years. So in PEO, student word should not be there. Their word should be our graduates. So if we want to see our graduates after 4 or 5 years in the major places in the industry, we have to accommodate that characteristics, that ability in our curriculum. Otherwise, how it will penetrate into our graduate even after 4 or 5 years. So that also we have to see. If curriculum is not focusing on our PO, that also we have to consider as a curriculum gap. Now state the process details. Also mention identified curriculum gap. Again, process is important. Not only curriculum gap, what we will find out is important, but how we have found it, how we are implementing, how we are notifying it to our teachers in the department. is also important. Now here also one bit is there which is also misunderstood by many. Here it is given that in case of all POs are being demonstrated through university curriculum, then 2.1.2 will not be applicable and weightage of 2.1.1 will be 20. So this meaning many teachers take the meaning like that. We don't require to find out curriculum gap because it is not in our hand. University frame the syllabus, that's all. And university syllabus is related with our PO and PSO. University has to see. So we need not work on curriculum gap. My dear participant, meaning is exactly reverse. This meaning is for the autonomous university where they frame the curriculum and continuous Kaizen is applied. So they don't need to work on curriculum gap because everything is in their hand and they can change their curriculum. So why they have to see, I consider as a curriculum gap. This curriculum gap is exactly only for the affiliated universities. So tier 2 institutes. So don't take it in a wrong way. The colleges which are affiliated to the university have to work for this curriculum gap. Now state the delivery details of the content beyond syllabus. Content beyond syllabus delivery status is asked for the attainment of PO and PSO. Again, content beyond syllabus has to frame looking at PO and PSO. Provide the details of additional course learning material. Now what is this? See, what is the content beyond syllabus, curriculum gap? Additional course, mind you, it is a course. So it is a huge breadth and depth. It should be similar to the course. Curriculum gap should be similar to the course, mind you, at least 15 lectures, 20 lectures. And we are just taking the scope of curriculum gap as 1 or 2 lectures in the course. No. This has to be more than 10, 15 lectures and it has to be value added course at least. If you will run value added course in your department, definitely you will get good marks. And that value added course should not be taken as we conduct. It has to map with PO, PSO, every documentation has to be there. Why we consider that course to run in our department? It was related to our PSO, PO, that we have to keep the documentation, plan it first and then execute the course. Or do reverse engineering also. Just carry the course wherever opportunity you find out and then map it there. That reverse way you can also do. Learning material. Now see, learning material you have to create in an innovative way, in an advanced way, active way. So whether we teachers generate learning resources, learning materials, we have to focus that. Content and laboratory experiments. So content beyond syllabus can be also in the lab and content beyond syllabus can be in the theory. And we can create learning materials additional beyond the syllabus. So that is content beyond syllabus and content beyond syllabus will form the bridging curriculum gap and bridging curriculum gap has to divide into content beyond syllabus. Projects, it can be projects. So arising from the gaps identified in tabular form. So what tabular form is given? So see, tabular form is given in the NBA gap. What gap you identified? What action you took? Month, resource person, designation, percentage of students. So resource person you can take from outside and you can show this. That is very simple. Now please mention in detail whether the institution has given such inputs and suggestions to the affiliating university. This is very, very important. After finding curriculum gap, we did not stop there and only up to the conduction. In the starting only I told you, how I told you, whatever was my curriculum gap and content beyond syllabus of the last semester, immediately I gave suggestions to the restructuring committee of the syllabus and fortunately that took place for second year and now that curriculum gap content beyond syllabus is now my latest syllabus. So this way proofs are required to show to the committee. Even if you are junior and don't have experience in the working in restructuring syllabus, you can give your suggestions to the chairman and board of studies member and also the panelist of that course. But you must produce this documentation because this is nothing but the impact analysis you have to show. Don't keep your curriculum gap, only gap for through 2 years, 3 years like that. So let us see what suggestions I had given in the month of May. This is the course which is starting from July. I had said that CO was like that, classify and apply, understand various different. Now, yesterday or in this session, somebody told understand should not be there in the course. I think Dr. Prasad sir said, understanding cannot be measurable. It cannot be observable. All our course outcomes should be measurable. So I gave the suggestions, understanding what should not be there, because we all are learning what can be CO, how we can frame that. Different words should not be there. Various words should not be there. This I came to know after attending one NITTR course, teaching, learning and accreditation. So they said that this word should not be there, understand word should not be there. So all these suggestions I gave to my chairman of this subject, and now it has been changed. I had given the learning level also, because along with course outcome, if we'll put learning level, then we can also frame our question paper very easily. Now AICTE has given reformation, exam reformation, and it has mentioned that we must mention learning level. So that has to come, but in this syllabus, they could not accommodate my this suggestion. Definitely it will come in the next phase. Now let us see curriculum gap. In this document, wherever the term process, again and again I am highlighting from yesterday, process is not so simple. Process has been used, its meaning is process formulation. Means a curriculum gap, how we formulated, not then has formulated. Even if then has formulated for her course, all teachers have sat together in the department, they discussed it, and curriculum gap is finalized after considering everybody's curriculum gap at course level. And that is only not sufficient. After finding curriculum gap at department level, industry person had been called, board of studies member had been called, expert had been called, stakeholders had been called, there was meeting in the department, and then curriculum gap was finalized and stamped. So that was the process of formulation. Documentation is very important, flowchart is important, and documents flowing in that flowchart way is important. So that is the process of formulation. Then process of notification. Oh, AISSMS Electrical Engineering Department has done all the formulation, but whether that curriculum gap is notified by HOD to all the faculty members, if it is not identified or it is not notified to all teaching faculty members, how teaching faculty members will concentrate on the final gap? HOD cannot say that it was finalized and formulated by all. No, what is the final stamp? That final stamp, there has to be process to notify that. You cannot say that it was given just circular way. No, there has to be definite process. Flowchart for notification has to develop. Documentation has to produce for that. And then third process is implementation. Okay, that was notified to all my teaching staff and students also, that in this academic curriculum year, they will just do additional things which is not accommodated in the syllabus, and that will be run as a value-added course. So you participate in value-added course because they are mapped with PO what industry expect. So motivating students, notifying students is also important. Then implementation. Okay, we decided to carry out, suppose a value added course on leadership course, suppose. Then how it was implemented, who implemented, how many students participated, that is curriculum gap at the department level. If you will conduct only for little number of students, how it can be at program level? Program level means majority participant has to contribute in that value-added course, and then only you can use in PO attainment level, because PO attainment, again, there are norms. So all these factors are very important. So if you'll see this program curriculum process used to identify extent of compliance, 6 marks is there, process 6 marks are there, and just list of curriculum gaps for the attainment defined are 4. So marks are less, but where work is very vast work. So that I want to tell you. Now exhibit, what exhibit committee asks? So the documentary evidence to indicate process, already I told you all this process, stakeholders involvement, internal, external involvement has to produce. Identified curriculum gap and its appropriateness. You cannot show anything. Appropriateness you have to justify. So let us see how we can do identify curriculum gaps. So curriculum gap analysis process, POs, I told POs and university curriculum. It should lead to identification of abilities. Mind you, it should not be only theoretical, because I told you leadership course. Purposefully, I am taking some different examples which your mind will not accept. So that is abilities, content, because rest, forget about the 4 POs. 4 POs are considered in all curriculum. What about 8 POs? Qualities, communication, ethics, self-learning skill, lifelong learning skills, team building, and societal and environmental and sustainability. So we have to focus in curriculum gap, abilities also, content also, scope also, coverage, depths of the syllabus also. Sometimes coverage of the syllabus related to 4 PO, it can be only mapped at level 1. So you are jumping from level 1 to level 2, that can be curriculum gap, going higher level. So that can be content level. Coverage, depths and applications, process and trends, which should be added to program academic plan beyond curriculum. So it should be beyond curriculum to ensure all abilities stated in PO. So I told you, and leads to career accomplishment, because if we focus on career accomplishment, then we are focusing on POs. So that also I want to say, it is not mentioned, but we have to focus on POs. It can lead to identification of additional topics or courses. Now see, I am telling you curriculum gap at the course. I am teaching material science or high voltage engineering. First, I will find out what is the missing curriculum gap in my subject, and then it will go to the department curriculum gap. So additional topics or courses which are not part of the curriculum, but are necessary. Now 2 levels, here I am telling you different levels. Level 1 can be structure, means add the course in your B courses, T courses, AC courses. For example, I can say that for AC, I will run battery vehicles or photovoltaic vehicles course. Then for third year, I will run a PLC training course. And final year, I will run some another advanced training course. Like that, we can add some course, means structure we can change. Level 1 planning structure, and level 2 can be content. So that will be our curriculum gap. So again, I will like to revise. Curriculum gap is the gap between program outcome, PS. This is only said, but my view is you have to consider PO also. Because again, there will be PO attainment will be very less. Mind you, we need to find out PO attainment also. And if you will not focus here PO, then your PO attainment will be very weak. So this has to be PO, PSO, PO. And what is our syllabus, and just the remaining thing will be curriculum gap for tier 2 institutes. Now what is the process, correct process, or what are the views of the finding curriculum gap process? Identify course outcome for each subject. I am taking material science, I will find out what is missing in material science, I will write down that. Then map each course outcome with PO and PSO. Take all the courses, 20 courses, 25 courses in the department, and just map with PO, PSO, and just find out the gap. Map CO with PO and PSO for all courses. Now, here, all courses we can divide into different classes. Science and humanities, programming, or some project-based core courses, because particularly that depends upon nature of the courses, where mapping is weak and where mapping is strong. So we need not see for every course level what is the missing gap. Divide all courses in 3-4 classes in the your department, and then class wise you can see where the weak mapping is there. So if any PO, PSO are addressed in common by all electives, record them. Elective topics also you have to consider. Examine the strength of mapping with the PO and PSO and identify weakly addressed PO. Means I can tell you, I can see where is the mapping weak for core courses, where is the mapping weak for programming courses, where is the mapping weak for laboratory or project, if we map, because project is main. So that mapping where it is weak, which POs are mapped weakly, that will be always our program curriculum gap. So here are some examples. Courses are given: automobile engineering, electrical power systems. You have find out gap based on the courses. This is gap related to the course. See, what is the gap? Hack devices, electrical fault diagnosis, means these are course level gap. So here theoretical things are there, but you do focus on abilities and skills and behavior and values also. Because unless and until you will not consider as that is a gap, you will never have good strength of mapping for remaining PO. So then find out the area wise or group wise. See, for project mapping with PO, PSO is done weekly mapped. We can find out which PO is missing, PO1 is missing. So that can be our gap. So that will be a curricular gap addressing. This way you can find out curricular gap. So this process I have done for my college, and therefore I am not ready to give PPT because many are asking me PPT. These are my NBA college work, and we have not yet gone to the NBA. We are planning. So I don't want that copy work should be there. That is the reason. And second reason, I am not giving PPT because if we ask PPT, that just we dump it somewhere. Our attitude becomes taking PPT and dumping somewhere. Instead of that, go through that, do some work, ask me on WhatsApp, implement something before starting of the term. That will be really good impact analysis also. So this process, I will tell you, identified course outcome by every course teacher, first step. Then COs are mapped with POs and PSO. Then categorize all courses into different groups of modules, model wise or classification wise. Address weekly map PO and PSO, and describe curriculum gap. So that can be simple process. Now this can be another way. You can develop process that was the simple in the department level, and this will be final stamping process. So here you can take alumni feedback, ask the students also, ask see the internet also, latest university curriculum you can compare, IIT curriculum you can compare, industry feedback you can take, national international universities you can see, and then find out the identified gap and content beyond syllabus. So this will be the exact process. I will request you, don't see flowchart available on the internet. Produce your own, because we need to show all the documentary proofs and we need to make the committee clear what is the way. So it doesn't mean that we have to just attach the flowchart. So this is flowchart done by me, just a simple way. So course teacher, then in-house training, FDP workshop. What is my first step? Course teacher. I am a teacher. I am undergoing this Nagpur College FDP. I am learning myself on the outcome-based education, curriculum gap, content beyond syllabus from the experts view I am seeing. So this is the first step. So Dr. Chavan sir can produce this FDP proof to the committee also. My teacher undergone this training first. Committee will be very happy if you'll show this proof. Then my teacher identified course-based curriculum gap. So after this FDP, I can tell all teachers can start finding this. Actually, yesterday only I had told to find out this. Now there are many requests for the admission that makes me disturbance. Please stop that. Then model discussions. Now what is this model? Because I told you classification of the subjects, but this is module. Module means like power system subject, we can say module. Then control system subject, we can say module. So in our department, we have module, and instead of going by classification, core subjects, project related, we go by module wise. We just analyze by module wise, power system module, control system module, then programming module, like that. Then departmental meetings. Meeting produce proofs must be there for curriculum gap. Then intra-departmental presentations, because my department has find out curriculum gap, but produce it or present it to the other departments also, have the views what they are, because electrical electronics are similar. Like that, we can say some advanced features of electronics we can enter in our electrical. Like that, we can think, and just intra-department presentations, discussions should be there, brainstorming should be there. We have already carried out this in form of workshops. Then internal experts and principals use. After that, internal experts and principals we can take. After that, stakeholders, and then it will be gone to the course bridging curriculum gap. So this table we can produce like that. What was the action taken? Guest lecture, guest lecture. No, you will tell me why it is not so different things. Already we are doing all these things. But mind you, every activity we need to plan with respect to the gap. So this guest lecture, we cannot conduct any guest lecture. First we need to this, and then we have to invite our experts. So that is the way. So here, these are some common examples of learning beyond syllabus and curriculum gap, soft skill training, guest lectures, then self-learning and MOOC and industrial visits, internships. So all these you can show which expert take, but map it to the curriculum gap. That is what I want to say. Content beyond syllabus. Now, what is the difference between content beyond syllabus and curriculum gap? I will tell you whatever curriculum gap I found out for my course level, I will consider it as a content beyond syllabus. Suppose I am saying content beyond syllabus, suppose I have focused on the modern tool usage, okay? Now modern tool usage I have focused, and I am saying it's my curriculum gap of my syllabus. Modern tool usage in my syllabus, there is nothing that students will learn advanced tools. So I will say to my department, this is what I think my curriculum gap for my subject. So department, if all teachers, majority teachers say yes, that modern tool usage is very less in electrical engineering program, then department can say that curriculum gap is modern tool usage, and huge activity in depth of aptitude, additional of the course, validated course department can think on using software tools and advanced tools. But I as a teacher, I can just take one activity or one extra lecture or one lab experiment using that advanced tool usage. I will say virtual lab experiment is not in my course, and I took virtual lab experiments. Now my students conducted, they are able to carry out virtual lab. So that is content beyond syllabus. So this is the difference between content beyond syllabus. My content beyond syllabus is virtual lab. My content beyond syllabus in theory, I conducted one expert lecture who just presented this advanced tool to the students. That was my content beyond syllabus. Curriculum gap, what I gave to the department, and content beyond syllabus, what I'm talking, that has to match. So this is the way how we have to discuss our curriculum gap and teaching content beyond syllabus. So all we just do that way, and just we present it and then appreciate it, and meetings and all these records we can keep. These brainstormings we are doing on our concepts and find out things. So that way we conduct workshop for other colleges. So now let us see case study of my subject. So because you can understand in a detailed way. Now only for simplicity, I took material science because all can understand this material science. My first unit is dielectric properties of insulating materials. Means insulating materials are there, properties are there, characteristics are there. Then second topic is dielectric material and testing of this. Some breakdown theories related to dielectric materials only. Insulating materials and dielectric materials are only little differences there. Third unit is on insulating materials, as what little difference is there. Again, third unit is on insulating material properties and applications, magnetic materials, conducting materials, and nanotechnology. All you can understand this. So I took this simple example of electrical. Now see what were the course objectives. So course objective I will not focus because already I told you, if we talk course objective means we talk about input. And input is not important. Sonekar sir has told it is the outcome based. Outcome is important. Input, irrespective of input quality of our students, we have to produce quality output. So don't focus on course objective. If course objective is there, it's my objective, the end's objective. Means assessment of the end, whether the end could satisfy her vision or no, like that. So that course objective I will not discuss. Just see the course outcome. So what was the course outcome in the syllabus mentioned? Now this is the latest example I am giving you how to frame CO, because that is done with my views. So these are not unit wise. If you don't want unit wise, how you can frame course, that also I will like to tell you. discuss classification, properties and characteristics of electrical engineering materials. So electrical engineering materials, all types, they should be able to discuss. They should able to state various applications. So these are classification and properties. This is for application. Is it related to unit? No, that is related to different units. This is related to different units. They should able to tell application. Why people are admitting and why message is coming? Actually, it is disturbing me a lot. It is coming on my PPT. Please stop that. So state various applications, measuring methods for parameters of different classes of electrical engineering. So here it is not unit wise, but here applications they should able to tell for different units: magnetic materials, insulating materials, conducting materials. So all units I have accommodated in only one CO. Then solve. What are problems are there on the conducting material, magnetic material, insulating materials, nanotechnology? We have merged in one CO, solve simple problems, because it is very simple problem. So this way we can formulate CO in the best way, because here I will tell you, if problem I am accommodating only CO, I can select the tool for this CO very effectively. Like yesterday I told, if I want to measure sugar, rice, I will use kilogram. If I want to measure oil and milk, I will use liter. Here I am assessing students' problem, analytical skills. So my tool can be very different for this. Where it is just cognitive level, state and discuss, that can be tool will be very simple, and this help me to understand learning level, and this help me to frame the question also. So that was the things. Now another COs, three COs are apply knowledge of nanotechnology and execute test. Here only we have considered nanotechnology separately, because that knowledge should be applied. Now see, laboratory based CO has to be there. That is my opinion, because we have equally weightage, 50 marks for the lab, practical, oral, term work marks 25. So why CO should not be based on our lab? CO has to be there. So we introduce CO on the lab test. Students should be able to execute tests. So all this. Then see the sixth CO. Now this is our advancement of the syllabus this time. Create learning resource material. Why? Learning resource material. It is not related to theory, but this is related to all the theory. Creating the learning resource material ethically. We use the ethically, so we would be able to map ethics PO very nicely. This is the way I am telling you. Yesterday I got many doubts how to map this. So ethic, I can map this to demonstrate self-learning, lifelong learning. So see the last PO 12th, I think, self-learning, lifelong learning. By creating learning resource material, students' self-learning skill will be developed. Learning to learn, students will learn to learn. And that will be lifelong. Their skill will be there with them for lifelong. So using, see how all four POs we could merge in CO. So lifelong learning skills and usage of ICT online technology through collaborative and everything. And this was my suggestion. I am very happy now it is accommodated in CO. See, collaborative and active learning also. So now here everything will be merged: communication skill, team building, individual skills, ICT, modern tool usage, self-learning, and this will be very fantastic to plan my teaching learning activities. So this is the way how we can frame CO to map our POs. But Savan sir also asked me some doubt yesterday. So that is the technique I wanted to show with case study. Now see, this was my last semester, remember level and this. And how was the syllabus? In the syllabus, there will be different number of verbs. State, characteristics, dielectric, insulating, magnetic, conducting materials use. Okay, this is for the term. But here we put what units it will cover. All units, unit 145, all units. So yesterday I told mapping level, you can check with how many units it is covered. So if you will not do CO unit wise number of things in a correct way, you will be able to do. So this is one way I wanted to show for mapping, because yesterday after my session, difficulty was there. Show one example. So here we can write down units. Now all units are covering. I will put this CO mapping level where the properties and characteristic PO is there 3. Here I can say 1. Like that only this is practical. So level 1 we can put. So that way we can consider mapping level logic with based on the syllabus units covered. Now this one more case study I will take for program outcomes. See, PO2 we can split. Program analysis, identify, formulate, review, research literature, and analyze complex engineering. So this will be PO2. How PO2 is splitted? Review literature. Here it is review. So if review literature, students will be able to do level 1. 2.1 means PO2 level 1. Identify complex engineering problem level 2 and formulate level 3. So that way splitting is done. PO1 where it is engineering knowledge, we can divide it math, science, engineering, fundamental. If only one subject is considered math, science, engineering, fundamental level 1, applying 2 subject knowledge, maths and science, then level 2, and applying any 3, because we cannot map all these 4 subjects knowledge cannot be used for this complex problem solving. So that will be level 3. So that was just an example with respect to yesterday's doubts. Now addition in the syllabus. So this review research literature was the PO. I told you this PO2, it is related to the research literature. And where was the syllabus of the research literature? For second year course, no choice was there. So while framing syllabus, I thought, why not to add activity on the research literature? So this review of research literature, online literature from the latest journal, we added it. My dear participant, we added it now in the current semester, and the fantastic way we just increase the practical slot from 2 hours practical per week to 4 hours practical in week. And in the practical B, additional practical session, we have accommodated number of things which were missing earlier. So that was the addition done a very wonderful way. And that presentation is there on Tuesday to my all university teachers, how we can take this course in a very better way to satisfy all POs. So this assignment was added in practical 2 that students will review research. They will take pay. Actually, I used to do this in my teaching learning process. Always I used to give assignment to the students to the research that beyond content beyond syllabus I used to take. Now it will be through the syllabus. So that I wanted to show you how we can keep our continuous loop up to the syllabus. So you can say that engineering and society is the 6th PO. So we can say that if students will be able to do any activity related to societal, health, safety, anything, either safety students need legal, societal, level 1. If students will be able to show their ability to the 2 parameters, health and safety, my PO mapping will be level 2. And if they will able to demonstrate to the 3 things, cultural and issues, then level 3 will be there. So these examples I have given. Now I will show you the way how I conducted curriculum gap and bridging curriculum gap. So this is the mapping example I wanted to show you. Here I am writing PO1, PO element 1, 2, 3. You may not write down this, but have the document in your department. What is level 1, level 2, level 3. But for understanding, I have put up, and level 1 I used because this level 1 is very simple problems. PO2 I splitted like this, research literature. I told you my students will able to do only review literature. Might be I will give them paper and they will review. So I put level 1. If my students will be able to identify which research and what they have to apply, then level 2. And if they will able to formulate complex problem, level 3. For second year, I cannot go. But after 2-3 years, definitely I have to jump from level 1 to level 2. So this course example I will give last semesters in the lockdown period. This was the course outcome. This another subject I am giving because already I conducted and I have PPT with that records. See, course outcomes where very number of verbs are there. So this time we will change this number of words because number of words will be actually in the initial course we thought if we put all these verbs related to the remembering level, then this will be able to help our course syllabus, means question paper framing also. but that way some confusion happens, so we'll reduce. Now program specific outcomes. Now these are our departmental PSO. I am giving you some case study. My electrical engineering department PSO was this, demonstrating knowledge control system, power system advance. Second PSO, we kept on simulation and software tools. Because I only insisted my department, we should not see only theoretical. Actually, that is the heart of outcome-based education. We just focus on theory. Sonekar sir also told yesterday. That is the biggest mistake, what we think. And always teachers say that if we will conduct all the activities and how portion will be covered. Mind you, syllabus portion is reducing, theory is reducing. Dr. Sonekar sir also told. And our syllabus material science, we reduce theory 1 by 1. Earlier it used to 4, now 3. And practical session we increase. Because we have to change our attitude. So this simulation and software we added as our PSO. And third PSOC, what is that? Self-learned lifelong learning skills. So my AISSMS electrical engineering students will have these skills. So all faculties has to focus on this. So this is what is my teaching plan. So I wrote list of curriculum gaps. This is last semester. Curriculum gaps, opportunity. See what I had written as a curriculum gap. Opportunity creation for the development of team building, self-learning and lifelong learning skills. Always I focus beyond theoretical aspects. And this was my curriculum gap, that my students should create have opportunity for team building and self-learning and lifelong learning. That was my curriculum gap. And list of content beyond syllabus, insulating material used in high voltage transformer and transformer manufacturing stages and process. My students must learn these manufacturing stages. I took them in the transformer manufacturing company and all they have seen it. And safety aspects I had written as a content beyond syllabus. So these safety aspects, I had decided to conduct activity on safety, and they will go in the society, they will create the awareness. So that was my content beyond syllabus, list of student centric methods, everything we had planned. And now this lecture I had conducted in our FDP, I will give you YouTubes of that. You can see in more better way or detailed way. So see, this was my assignment. Now you understood my content beyond syllabus and curriculum gap. This was my assignment. What was my assignment? Level 6, creating, execute your portfolio using knowledge, principle, ideas and concepts of high voltage engineering, design and develop crosswords, create stories, poem, riddles, execute game, role play, debate, group discussions, assemble, develop plans, prepare poster, chart, quiz, integrate and combine insulating materials, table, judge, and this. Assignment 3 was applying, carry out oral discussions in the lab. So that I will show you. So list of activities plan where using curriculum gap and content beyond syllabus only. I had planned my games, listing game, think and share, pair and share, brainstorming, peer-to-peer assessment. So this way we can plan our teaching learning process and curriculum gap. We always conduct expert lecture, but plan and map with your PO, PSO. We conduct our workshops and this, but plan with our curriculum gap. That I wanted to say. This leadership course I coordinated for my college level. 500 students from India had selected, and we took 10 students. Now number of students is less, but afterwards it will go higher. So that was the value added course addition. Now safety, what I did for safety, I conducted activity with MACB. These 2-3 students, I told them to just do the creative poster. They did this, but I again said your photo should be there, some creative should be there. So they did this. We launched this quiz, more than actually 4,000 has appeared, and wonderful responses we have achieved. And this is in because quiz is common. Number of colleges have launched the quiz, but see the difference. We did it with in association with MACDCL, and complete 1 month I was discussing with them, with them taking meetings with higher authorities, and then we could organize that. So here I will like to show you just. This is drama played by my students. Create safety awareness. These are my students. So this safety drama was very well appreciated by MSc people and the just common people, society people. And then MACB authority
नाव काय रे बाबू तुझं? अरे वा वा छान नाव आहे प्रकाश. आता नुसतं उजेड
and my
मारते तुम्हा
students had
मित्रांमध्ये.
played it in
विनोद प्रकाश.
officers training, and they got very good appreciation from the MACB peoples. The photo of their appreciation, just they gave the bunch, and this that photograph I had displayed at the time of NAC, so they appreciated very well. So whatever we do as a teaching, learning beyond syllabus, bridging curriculum gap, see at a wide scope in association with professional authorities, industries, like that. So that is the response of the quiz. Now see, modern tool usage, I told this was the fifth PO. PO was split into 3 levels: selecting modern tool usage, select and apply. My students will be able to select modern tool usage 1. My students will be able to select and apply modern tool usage level 2, and create a modern tool usage level 3. So my scope was only selection and apply. So I will tell you, many students conducted virtual lab for the students. In lockdown period, I did not conduct virtual lab. My students conducted a virtual lab. They prepared videos, they posted on their class, and all students did that virtual labs. This way, 3 experiments we could complete in the lockdown period. So this was earlier example, but this way that was done by the students online virtual lab. And what was the impact? This Omkar Chavan, after completing that virtual lab demonstration for the class, I told all the students how you can produce videos. With mobile they produce, without laptop, because laptop were locked down in the lockdown period in the college or their room. So I told with the mobile, and now the result was, now he has launched his professional course on Udemy, and now he has started earning in dollars. So what can be impact better than this? What can be output better than this? I'm so happy for his contribution. So this way we can cultivate all the skills among our students, and definitely students will be able to just absorb in the industry. Now he is in very demand from Udemy. They are asking him to create more, and so professional way he has created that Udemy course. Now this was the what students should learn and care. I will not show you all videos. Now time is running. So work safely. This was also activity what students to care. Now this I will show you to sing the song in the class also. Because what learners should feel very close to us, and learning environment should be from restricted to very open. So that was the thing. And the teaching learning process, improving quality, 25 marks. Now we have to improve our pedagogy. So what NBA has mentioned, laboratory experience, collaborative way, pedagogical initiatives. So in the 25 marks, adherence to the academic calendar, 3 marks is there. So calendar adherence means if we plan the calendar, how much activity we could able to plan in a better effective way. I think somebody is annotating. Somebody is annotating. So these are ethics. Actually, I close annotation option off, but still somebody is doing that. Please check annotation.
Ma'am, please make it from your side.
I had made it off, but still it's going on. Okay, so improving quality of teaching learning process, methodologies to support weak students and encourage. This was also doubt in my Google form. Somebody has asked, and this is very, very good question. Because committee asked, and this is also misunderstood by many colleges. So how we can identify support and weak? 4 marks are there in teaching learning. How to identify slow learner and bright students? Result analysis is not the major. It's not the correct way, because it depends upon subject to subject who can learn fast and who can learn very slow. See, if mugging is done, learning is slow. By doing mugging, result can be higher, and that is what the current fact is there. Current fact is that students are not able to tell anything, but they are able to get distinction. Why it is happening? Due to mugging. So result, if you will take, you cannot identify slow learner. It is a learning. It is the cognitive level, how fast. So different learning styles are there. So only one important tool you have to apply, which course you are teaching. Based on your course, 5 lectures, 10 lectures, you have to identify slow learner. So that data is important than the result analysis, because that learning or results also change time to time, and it depends upon the teacher also, it's teacher's pedagogy also, and the course also. So that way you have to do while checking slow learner and bright students, and activity should be peer-to-peer learning. So this peer-to-peer learning, students will teach the students. Then you can say advanced learner taught the weak students. So I have a number of techniques. I will give you to of that session conducted in my FDP. You can watch later on. So improving quality of teaching methodologies to support weak students. You can see team building, portfolio you can create. You can give different assignment to the weak students, different assignment to the fast learner, like that. Now use of various instructional methods, pedagogical initiatives, 3 marks are there. And quality of classroom teaching, 3 marks are there. Committee will visit this in the class. So we have to use experiential learning, action learning, collaborative learning, and all this pedagogy you can implement through portfolio. So portfolio is a latest tool added by NBA as an assessment. So through the portfolio, you can just conduct all these pedagogical things. 1 unit you can keep, 2 unit you can keep, some 5 or 6 lectures you can keep for that activities. And you can just do it in wonderful way, because every day you have to use some different strategy also for the lecture. So this game just I will. So just ask question and let the students think answer is yes or no. So yes will stand here, no will stand here. So how the change is happening. So thinking, developing logical and thinking skill is very important. Okay. So students will thinking skills will be also there. The students is the poem. It's in Marathi, but it is technical poem. So creative, let the students use their creativity, and students enjoy a lot, and then they carry out that. So give the appreciation. These students are only giving appreciation, but many times I also give the appreciation. This was the crossword. So crossword students, this I have not done. Students are only doing activities, peer-to-peer learning, and this crossword was designed using online software. So students capture the technology very fast, and this can be our learning resources next year. This crossword I can use for my test in next year. So that way we can produce wonderful our learning materials also. So this way, see the posters, the
it's an exam.
And think and pairs.
So what happens in the Townsend's theory is that
he just revising theory, different theory.
Famous theory is best seen in lightnings and thunder. When we
like the theory can be played in the class. This theory she revised. See the joy on the faces while doing that creative task. So our classroom also is very important for playing games. Lab is also important. So improving quality of teaching learning process, conduct of experiments, observations in the lab. 3 marks are there. Some special things are there where we are observing students' behavior, attitude, and their skills also. It's not only theoretical, practical things. Continuous assessment has 3 marks. So rubric is very important. Feedback is also important. So laboratory methods you have to display in different way. I always take my laboratory always with the group discussion, and my students give marks to them on every experiment. Students, he is taking that experiment, whatever students will answer on that experiments, oral discussions, he will give marks out of 5 to them. This is of course after taking experience and after explaining by me. So 2 slots I am keeping practical. Every students take 1 experiment for discussion. Then he conduct oral discussions, ask questions to the students. So that way laboratory methods are very important. Sometimes I take it in the next practical. Experiment I will perform earlier. Next week students will carry out brainstorming and This was virtual lab, already I showed you. So student-centric laboratory methods, we have to display various activities we can give to the students. Continuous assessment, we have to develop laboratory rubrics. Dr. Sharad Pradhan sir said us. So CAS simple model is very, very important. And now we have revised in our college, we added portfolio. So this was our revision for continuous assessment. See, what parameters I want to highlight. Attendance 5 marks, then B, experimental write-up, originality, punctuality. Here for everything we have to develop rubrics. 5 marks attendance, why, when I will give 1, when I will give 2, when I will give 5. Then yet we have not done that rubrics, but this assessment CAS model we have developed. Then D is mock oral, practical oral, 10 marks. Portfolio means any work will be assigned to the students, and through this portfolio we can check students' abilities, skills, behavior, values, attitude. This also we have to assess for 5 marks. So that is what NBA says, 4-dimensional teaching learning process, not only 1-dimensional. Skills, 2nd dimension. Behavior, attitude, 3rd dimension. So CAS model, you for the CAS model also. This portfolio can be in different forms. There is another my lecture on active learning. I will post a video in WhatsApp group. You can watch that. Now, quality of students project. I will not take this. Time is very less. 25 marks. Again, project they want focusing on safety, ethics, cost. See, again and again NBA focuses on all these aspects, and we just neglect all that aspects. Safety, ethics, cost, because they are more valuable than what students learn. I will simply tell you, remember how we learn in our school or college. Whatever we learn in class, that is not of any value, what I can say you. We just forget everything after the lecture, after the exam. Only comes with us is our values, safety, ethics, and our abilities and skills. So focus on developing that will go lifelong. And that is very important. And impact analysis in the industry's initiative related to summer and training. So that is required. So visit you conduct, there is no problem. MOU conduct, there is no problem. Industry institute interaction you conduct, there is no problem. But some different ideas I will tell you. Arrange industries webinar. I conduct this as an experiment. Industrial webinars, I will ask students, that will be your assignment. Some laboratory involvement, I am just participating in industrial meetings. I am convincing them, do that, do this. And just they are also giving values to my ideas. And just we are involving. This is in my USA, Hawaii. I just delivered a lecture in Energy Institute in Hawaii. I told them also, these were voluntary work. This was MSCB people's meeting, and just I convinced them we must conduct safety quiz, and then they agreed. So that way we can just do the work. This also we need to show to the committee for our industrial involvement. Differently you have to think. So there are some another photos. I will not show this based on all these activities, playing games, treasure hunt. Ask the students to bring some equipments of that characteristics. So students will ask the characteristics, and then they will run away and bring that thing. So treasure hunt. This is dumb sharas. So dumb sharas can be played in the lab and the theory lectures. So just students will do mimicry, and these they will identify. See the response. When we ask questions, they don't give response to us. So this is peer-to-peer learning and developing the skills. Kodi, Marathi we say Kodi. So just ask students, ask the readers. All these are technical. करंट को रोके वो है हम, वोल्टेज को भी ड्रॉप करे इतना है दम, आप ही बताओ कौन हूं मैं. मीन्स दिस इज द मटेरियल दे हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई. अगर ढूंढना चाहते हो मेरा नाम तो याद करो आर्किमिडीज का काम, उसको वो दे दो, लड़क सुलझा देंगे सब कुछ. So just have the readers and let them think. I don't think that completing portion is important. I think revising and the different concepts, developing skill is more important, and portion get covered if we tell students to carry out activities for one unit depending upon that unit nature. It becomes our burden also get reduced, because many teachers ask me, madam, how we can do all these things? We will not do that things. We will just plan in our teaching plan. our pedagogy, which game students can play, which activity I can take, and then students will do. Let's start planning and monitoring from the beginning. Yes, I will tell you impact analysis of this. Our teaching feedback get less. That is my true case. Always I get my teaching feedback less. I don't bother to that. I am just interested in long-term impact. And when my students leave my class, and after 20 years also they come in front of me, that is a long-lasting impact, because they identify who was the teacher who was dedicated and was very much interested in my welfare, in my career. So my teaching feedback is less, but my result are qualitative and quantitative. Means my result will be always 100%, more than 95%. I have received many appreciation letters from my principal, earlier principal, for my this qualitative results, and everybody will be above 60, above 80, above 70, majority students. So that was quality and quantity also. So principal used to ask me, what you do in class? Just do it in all department, tell all teachers, like that. So that was the impact analysis. So don't worry about the feedback. So just enjoy the things what students will also do. So that is just coming close by heart to the teacher and students. Already I told, always focus on head, hand, heart involvement in your class. This is column games. You can see details in my video. I will post videos. So this is the way how we conduct the workshops in different college and tell in detail. So that I wanted to show, but now no time is there. We conduct various FDP on collaborative learning. Media also appreciate us. So references, I told already yesterday you, but one additional course also I did on UG accreditation and teaching learning in this vacation. So let us move hand in hand together. What I want to say, not this is the last session. I think session is started. So work with me. Let us work together to implement something of this FDP to something of my session. Then really it will be good outcome and good impact. So let us move hand in hand together further also. That I would like to say you, and thank you. Now any questions, any suggestions? So 10 minutes I have kept, you can ask me. Before that, one I would like to say, yesterday actually there was response to the picture. One Mexico participant applied, had sent me mail picture, but I could not see because my mobile was on silent and I forgot mobile is on silent. So I could not hear the response by mail and WhatsApp also. And 3 candidates posted me on WhatsApp. So that was wonderful response. Few participants asked me, Madam, we could not got the idea that WhatsApp can be used. This is the thing we have to learn from peer to peer, what other participants are doing, in what day they are behaving, and what they just they give the answers and participate. So that way peer to peer learning has to be there for teachers also. Now I have opened the chat box. You can ask the questions or you can ask with wise organizers. Please let them ask if they want to ask. Yes, chat box is open.
Hello.
Vijay Bhamre sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
Yes, good afternoon.
That question regarding advanced learner and slow learner was posted from me on your WhatsApp. Actually, we are at rural place where that industrial belt is not there, as well as the admitted students quality. They are basically from farmers background, and many more troubles we have to face, right from developing their communication skill and teaching them behavioral manners, etiquettes, corporate culture, everything, or right from the basic we have to take the efforts. Can you suggest some additional methodologies to groom up our student in a better manner?
Yes, Vijay sir, actually you asked on WhatsApp in my Google Sheet also that question is there. And I would like to say that NAC and NBA committee definitely ask how you identified this, because that is also mistaken and result is not the criteria. Now, as you are in rural area, you don't have industry and your students' capability is also less. I can understand. So what we can do, depending upon their choice, like I asked you what you required from my session, where you are interested, like that you can ask them what is your interest. Because when I had visited for conducting workshop in rural area, I said to the principal, sir, you are having rural students and it might be very challenging, so why you don't use the students creativity in some another things, give them some training by calling some trainers from the city areas, carry out the training in the some earlier before term starting, and definitely that will help. So like that you can think, even if you are rural area, plan this activity before starting of the term, and students will definitely do that. And I think they will be developed also. And for slow learners, you think it giving the chance, like that I will tell you, when I carry this activity in my class, some students are from the rural background, they don't know how to speak in English also. So we have to identify, and I always become strict and insisting, you must say something, you write down on the page in Marathi or Hindi, whatever language, you come with the notebook and read it. I am insisting students like that, and I will tell you what will be the result. If such a students will be given confidence to read from the notebook in their own language, next activity they will try in English. Next activity they will definitely try without notebook, and they get such a confidence because we give them value, we care them. Usually what happens, our focus is on the advanced learners and we appreciate them, and always we give the opportunity because we don't want to waste time for poor learners or slow learners. But when our focus is changed, definitely miracles happens. And I have observed in my session, because this I do focus in practical hours, students drastically change. Means who was very shy in the beginning, he becomes the very active to come ahead. So for your rural area students, you think their choice where they will like to play games in Marathi. Why only in English? Because in our language oral also we say speak in any language. So start with that, start with their skills. So I don't think for industry institute interaction you will face problem. But if you plan in vacation, you can call them. Number of trainers are available nowadays, they will come to your village, they will stay. I have already contacted such a trainers, and they just said me, madam, you just make our living arrangement and we are ready to do for your college. Because number of NGOs are there who are work freely and without much interest. Only thing is we need to tap them.
Madam, actually, we are spending much on even we have given opportunity for them to have the English speaking classes, special personality development classes, and everything. But thing is that the moment or the period tenure for which these trainers are with us in a campus, they are serious about that concern, and later on we could not find that effectiveness during the semester.
Yes,
That
I
is
can accept your limitations. Sometimes it is from management to select that vendor, that party. Sometimes it is students' attitude. And I will tell you, I am also struggling very hard, but little way it is improving. Initially, 2 students will do. Next time, 4 students will do. It's a teamwork from principal to all teachers. But we have to work hard to change the attitude of the students, and I focus in changing attitudes only, because once attitude is set and correctly, system becomes self-driven. People criticize me, you know, you have attended my earlier FDP also of my college. It was so changed as compared to other FDP. How many criticize me? But let them criticize, because change never happens easily. For change to happen, we have to change ourselves and system also.
Okay, thank you, madam. And you had a wonderful session. In-depth study you have done, and you can guide any fellow. Thank you.
Yes, any another who want to ask difficulty doubt?
Ma'am, this is Professor Nikam from GWCT itself.
Okay.
Ma'am, after seeing your presentation, I just remember the picture movie Hichki. Did you see that? They are using the creative things over there for teaching. Rani Mukherjee's picture is there. That movie is also good. I want to ask you, ma'am, how we make the
Which movie, sir? I am not getting.
Hichki, ma'am, Hichki.
Oh,
Hichki, Rani
okay.
Mukherjee, right? Rani Mukherjee. She is
Okay.
also using that creative things while studying, while teaching the students. So that's why I just remember those scenes also. While seeing your presentation, I want to ask you one thing. How we are going to make our tutorial lectures more interesting?
So in tutorial way also you can plan different pedagogy. Focus on students only. Students, how students will do. Not we, because it is all POs are not for us. POs are for students. So focus your actually, if you have tutorial sessions, I can think you have wonderful opportunity for carrying all these activities. So frame up your tutorials in the activity based way. Let the students play games. Let the students carry out activity based on the tutorial, theoretical things. So give them one question and let them play the game. Let them have the debate. Let them have role play. And just see all the concepts will go to the other students also. So this is peer-to-peer advanced slow learner. You can name it collaborative. You can name it team building. Everything you can show. And so that way you can plan.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Any another
Dr. Mitu Pandey, ma'am, please ask your question.
जो कल जो लिंक भेजा वो यस
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, please continue.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Thank you so much for such a nice session. Ma'am, I have a question like in most of the private institutes, students are pressurized to attend different training program and different other program and they have to pay for these. So means introducing all these learning model or different things, how one can like assure about their quality, like how can we assure about the quality education?
See, madam, you are using word forcefully. Actually, I will say, unfortunately, they are required to do forcefully. Actually, we must focus on all these aspects. We should not do it forcefully. Actually, we should do it voluntary for our students, because we always focus on our theory coverage, portion coverage. That way we are not able to accommodate these training courses. So I will tell you, we can plan it effectively before our term starts, not between the term. And how we can maintain quality of these training courses, I will tell you one example. When I contacted one vendor for training, I just compare it with the 4 vendors, and the person said me, madam, you are the first person in my life who asked me so much technical doubts and who is ensuring. Other people, when other teachers call me, they just ask whether I will get certificate from you, whether you will allow me to do it freely, what will be our benefit, like the person also was telling like that. So I think we has to compare with 4 trainers and we have to select for ourselves. In many cases, management don't give that opportunity to us. Management just select the vendor. Then in that case, we have to make stick to our vendor and we have to apply Kaizen. Suppose soft skills management select party. In that case, what we have to do, only after 2 hours or 3 hours, 3 days, we have to tell them this noted, this suggestion from the students, and you need to improve, you need to add that. So in our college, we teachers attain that soft skills and we just take feedback from students. Feedback has to be continuous assessment like we do in practical, and we have to send this feedback to management or whoever will select that party to that party also, and definitely it will help. Not I will say in the first beginning, always there also we have to require struggle, but someday it will change. Not the second year, but at least third year we will able to give quality trainers. So that way, I think main hurdle is students' attitude. Nowadays, students don't want to learn because Sonikar sir said that we are blaming students and students want some innovations in teaching. That is also true because we are using very conventional way. Students are not interested in that way. And I will tell you, when I asked students virtual lab, advanced this, with doing some mobile, yesterday I told you menti.com. So that students way, if we'll do, some performance will change, quality will change. So there is a huge gap between what students expect and what we offer. That is also true. And there is a huge gap what we are expecting to do from the students and students don't want to do. Unfortunately, situation is like that. So vast change is required from both ways. Yes, one question is there.
Thank you, ma'am.
One question is there, how we can increase industrial involvement. Actually, there were PPTs I showed you industrial involvement. Actually, NBA expect laboratories set up from the industries. So we have to approach to the various industries and we have to ask them for some suppose products they are not using, some scrap materials, some unused or last version softwares, tools, and we can ask them to give it to for our lab. Now we are planning to install labs with the help of industries, with involvement from the management, financial involvement from the management. So that way we have to change our traditional industry institute interaction to the latest things where internship also our students do in our lab only. So we are thinking to set up labs for internship also. So internship softwares are also coming. Virtual internship is also started in the foreign countries. So that way also we think increasing industrial involvement. And one more simple things I showed you, demonstrated you, safety. Just playing safety drama for MSCB people and taking the participation in their contribution is a very simple thing. Our students can go in industry and ask something students to do for the workers' health. PO will be also mapped, students will be also inculcated with the values, industry will also help, and definitely industry will like to do something for us. So that way we can also think in a non-conventional way. Simple techniques are there. Yes, any another question? What is the difference between certification course and the value-added course? Yes. Now I recalled one question also. What is the difference between certification course and value-added course? Actually, value-added courses are nothing but certificate course. But when we say certificate course can be any. When the certificate is given, course can be certificate course. But when it can be value-added course, we have to think holistic. Whatever is not there when mapping with PO, PSO, that we can conduct as a value-added course. Suppose leadership course. Again, here many colleges are focusing on the theoretical content. Means there should be advanced PLC, there should be robotics, there should be, I will tell you, some photovoltaic use or some electric vehicles. Why theoretical aspects? You are focusing skill and knowledge is not only the things you aspect on the skills qualities. Like I frame leadership course. Now this way, the one vacation in May only we plan German collaboration internship. So why not that can be value-added course? I told principal, sir, we will take money from students. We will call them as a value-added course and we will give some credits. So that way we are planning with the foreign German company we are thinking. Now that way you can think, take money from the students for the international courses, call them value-added course and give them certificate. Now one question was there in Google Sheet, what will be value of certificates of this FDP? So I would like to say one thing related to that, that Forget about the certificate. Certificate will be having 0 value soon, because trade had changed in lockdown. Many teachers have forgotten ethics of the profession. For doing the course and for getting the certificates, only courses are being done just logging, not all, 2%. So that value
त्यांना सांगितलं की
we
आता
will only going to lose
होणार आहे.
ourselves.
सोनाली सर 12:30 ला होणार ते झालं नाही कधी.
Yes, now, sir, can we finish? Any another doubt you want to ask? Or we have validatory function to come up? I would like to conclude. Thank you. Once again, thanks to all of you.
सोनारे सर आले आहे.
Yes, we will now start.
हॅलो सर, तुम्ही जॉईन नाही झाले का?
झाले आता झाले आहे सर.
नाही म्हणत आहे मला तर निकम. अच्छा, हा आता दिसतंय. हा ठीक आहे. हा हा हॅलो, झालं. मग सर म्हणत होते मग कशी जॉईन झाले. ठीक आहे
सर. कोठारी सर आले का? चव्हाण सर कोठारी सर आलेत का म्हटलं? हॅलो निकम सर.
येस सर.
कोठारी सर आलेत का म्हटलं?
एक मिनिट. नाही, कोठारे सर दिसत नाही. सोनार सर जॉईन झालेले आहेत आपल्याला. गुड आफ्टरनून सर.
गुड आफ्टरनून. गुड आफ्टरनून.
हा, कोठारे सर पण आले. एक मिनिट.
कोठारी सर
आले ना कोठारी सर?
हो, आले.
हेलो
सर,
आ गए वहाँ पे? सर आवाज आ रही है?
यस सर. यस सर.
सर नमस्कार. नमस्कार. नमस्कार.
गुड आफ्टरनून सर, वेलकम.
हाँ, whenever you say I'll talk.
Salim sir, should we start?